Here's the base for the lathe. It's constructed with 1/8 wall thickness 2x2s and 3/16 3x3 angle and 3/16 by 3-inch bar that runs across the lathe at the bottom, just where the feet would go. So the feet are attached to the straps. The straps are attached to this first length of 2x2, which is 38 inches long, and that in turn is welded to a rectangle of 2x2 box that is 54 by 20 inches wide. That will vary with the cabinet you have for your lathe. And the angle iron is 18 inches long on either side. I have 4-inch casters underneath it right now. They're heavy-duty casters. I think they're actually not the original ones that I got for this one. The original ones were 5-inch, but I wanted to keep it low so that I could keep it underneath the cabinets when I'm not using it. I did do a drawing for it, and if I can figure out how, I will include that in the video, or a little screenshot of it anyways. It's movable. It's heavy, but it's movable. Perhaps I can show you the back of it here for a little more clarity. Here it is from the back. Perhaps you can see it a little better. You can see the rectangle that goes around on the lathe. It extends out just as far as the casters minus clearance for the swing on either end. Then the 38-inch piece underneath, which actually supports the lathe and drops it down 2 inches to keep it closer to the floor. I guess while I'm at it, that is where I store the faceplate. There was a hole there already, so I just made it a little bigger, and I have a piece of steel bar that's bolted to it, and that holds the faceplate in place. Also, I put a 1-horse 3-phase motor on it. It's a big ass 163 frame, I believe. Anyways, it's just big enough to fit on there. I actually had to modify the junction box. I put a small one from another motor on it. The one that came with it was made out of cast iron as well, and it was about 2 inches deep, whereas this one's a little over an inch, I suppose. Anyways, it just fits. I had to make a pulley for it too, because it's a 7/8 shaft, and I wanted to keep the 3/4 inch shaft in case I go to a different motor in the future. I guess that really concludes this. While at it, I might as well mention that I did put the VFD on it. You can just see it down here. I think it's still plugged in. Takes a little bit for the DC capacitor bank to charge up. Okay, now it's on. And this is the control for it. I have a tachometer here that gives the speed. And a switch for forward and reverse. You control the speed with a potentiometer here. It's a 10-turn pot. And I also put a counter on it. Now, I doubt I'll ever use that counter again, but I did use it once. I had to wind a coil for a magnetic starter. It was a 120 volt, and I converted it to a 220, so I removed all the the wire from the bobbin and got some 38 gauge wire and filled it up with 2,567 turns, and now I have a 220 coil for a magnetic starter. So now both lathes have got the VFD on it, which I highly recommend if you're going to be doing thread cutting or anything where you have to work really close to your shoulder, because it allows you to bring the speed rate down when you get close so you don't have any mistakes. And also, you know, when you need to cut not quite at a speed that's on the selector, it's a good thing. Anyways, I think it's the way to go, especially if your lathe came with a 3-phase motor in the first place. Anyways, I hope you find that helpful for your lathe. Cheers.